There are also nearby mines where the mountains are located, which also contributes to the value in this town. Don explained to them, pointing out the large windows at the mountain. Claire still couldn't get used to how there was such a contrast between the guild inside the underground city and the ones on the other side of the portals. She saw how the guild was similar to the ones she had traveled to when entering this place. The main difference was the size and adventurers inside. How many of the adventurers inside this place are from the other side of... Bill pointed a thumb behind them towards the portal. Both Cammy and Don thought about the question, their eyes looking around at the people, minding their own business, only a few looking at them curiously. Cammy lifted a hand and tilted it back and forth. I'd say about a quarter. Turning to Don, she asked, "What do you think?" "Maybe even a little more." Don looked at Bill. Bill's mouth was slightly open from hearing such an answer. To think that so many of these people are not even from the underground city. It's pretty impressive what Star and Moon was able to accomplish. Abby's eyes scanned the people in front of them. Claire noticed that Abby was unsure about something, but didn't want to ask her sister at the moment. There were questions she also had, but didn't know how to ask them. "How about we head over to the jobs board?" Cammy suggested, waving a hand for them to follow her as she walked over to the wall near the request counter, which had several long lines. Next to the request counter were several boards that had all the jobs for the immediate area. Seeing the request counter, Claire could see that both sections were full of people waiting to talk to an employee of the guild. One of the sections had people in various garments, some looking more professional than others. The other had several lines of people in armor and carrying weapons. "I see that there are plenty of jobs to be taken." Abby commented at the sight of adventurers waiting to submit the documentation that they had completed their task. Reaching the boards on the walls, each board had a differing number of adventurers in front of them. One of the boards only had 2 adventurers who looked to be working together. The middle had several dozen going through the papers attached to the board. And the one closest to the request counter had so many people that adventurers had to force their way to the board. Claire could hear people cursing at those trying to reach the front. "I suspect you're already familiar with these boards." Don pointed to each one. He looked at them, making sure that they weren't lost. Abby nodded. The one with only 2 adventurers is jobs that are above level 20. The middle one is between 10 and 20, while the last is below level 10. She pointed at each one, with her chin indicating to the 2 adventurers. "I'm surprised to see anyone able to take such high-level jobs." Shrugging, Cammy said, "They're most likely traveling with merchants or on their way to one of the nearest cities. From what I learned, those jobs tend to be multi-day tasks." "Are they from an underground city?" Hannah asked, an amazed expression on her face. Cammy scrunched her face. "I doubt it. They're likely the adventurers that exist inside the simulation. I don't think there are any adventurers that have reached level 20 yet. But it's not like such a thing is impossible," Don added in. "No one keeps track of all the various underground cities, so there may be some that have strong enough adventurers." Lowering his voice, he continued, "I've even heard rumors that some underground cities only have a couple of people inside them, so the only way they'd be able to meet others is by entering the simulation.